Absolutely fine.
Okay, so shall I start? Hi everyone. My name is Ananya, and hi Nikita. She is the star of our meeting today because she is extremely beautiful, I could say. And yes, she's the co-founder of Winston and two more other companies. And welcome, Nikita. And I will just give you a brief intro about ourselves. We are a group of 9 people and all women doing MBA from ICFI Business School, Hyderabad. And currently, we are interning with LWT Academy, which is India's first edutour brand. So this is our project to interview, the Shark Tank participants and know about their journey, how their entrepreneurship journey is going on, how are they, feeling right now after the Shark Tank thing has happened. So this is how it is. So I have a set of questions for you. I'll just ask it to you and you just have to give your answer. So it will be recorded and this is how it is going to be. And if my
Firstly, I'd just like to say that I'm really happy like to see a lot of women working together. Like every time somebody says that, this is a women oriented company or a college, it just gives me like, it just makes me feel super happy. So yes.
Thank you so much. And we are also really happy because we could see you growing. I have really, I won't lie, I have stalked you everywhere, like, LinkedIn, Insta, and I could see you living a
Wow.
life. And definitely, we are looking forward to have a great session and also listen a lot from you. So I will just start the questioning. Can you just let me know how Winston started? How did you find this idea and where did it come from?
Absolutely. So the idea started after my marriage in 2020. So before that, I was having my own brand, like that's still working and is my family business now. That's Milagro Beauty. And that's a D2C brand, which is for beauty only. And Himanshu has a background of electronics, as in he was dealing with electronics, a three generation of business doing that. So after our marriage, like pandemic happened within 1 month, and we thought like two entrepreneurs cannot sit idle, of course, and let's just have a baby where everybody else is also having a baby. And the baby was Winston, a hybrid of beauty and electronics. So that is how Winston was born. And also understanding the need in that, there was a small gap which we saw, that during pandemic initial phase, like everybody was like, there were memes all around on social media that girls can't go to the salon and their reality is actually coming out. And this is what hit us, like, it's not just about pandemic, but it's also about a lot of working women who do not get time to visit the salon, or just like young girls who do not have enough money to go to frequent salon services. And so we thought, why not come up with a product and like an array of products, which will help women to avoid going to salon, and they can do the services at home at ease, like a DIY kit, making them get rid of their upper lips, get rid of their facial hair, and whatever the need is, like whether it's pedicure, just do it at home thing. And that is how Winston was born, just grabbing that opportunity that we saw in that time.
That's great, Nikita. Also, for those who don't know who Himanshu is, he is Nikita's husband and also the co-founder of Winston.
Right.
So, yes, so I had a chat with him about taking the interview, and he just redirected me towards you that, she is the one who is taking the interview and all.
Right.
So, yes. And also, you mentioned about the beauty care and, how going to salon doesn't really go with everyone, and
Right.
even people have money, they don't have time. Even if they have time, they're very lazy. Sometimes they don't feel like going to somewhere else
Right.
and doing the stuff. So yeah, it's, I think Winston plays a very important role there. It throws light on something which every girl is facing right now.
And
Yes,
also,
it's
I'd
a
like to mention as a fact, like, we are lucky that, we're in metro cities and we have the access to the salons really easily. But if you go a little like, tier two, tier three, if you go in those cities, even if people have money, there's like a customer there who have money, who can visit salon, even if they have the time. But it's really not that close enough for them to visit frequently. So they need an alternative for it. So we just thought like, it's like a very unorganized market, and let's just capture it and deliver what the audience wants. We saw what was missing in that phase.
Completely agreed. So, Nikita, can you let me know that did you face any resistance from your family while starting up the business? Or you mentioned you already had business earlier, so any resistance, or they completely supported you on this?
So I wouldn't say that there was a resistance during this business, but in general, like I would like to say, since you girls are all like, you would relate to it. Like when I started my career in like 2013, that's 10 years from now. So I think it's only then when I faced a lot of hurdles and I was not really seen as somebody who's going to make the bread and butter for the family. It was always like, oh, she must be doing it for just like time pass. Like what kind of work is this? Like you're doing it online, you're selling things via Instagram, and today it's the biggest, most powerful platform to sell a product. Like that's what people understand now. But in 2013 the platform was so new that everyone was like, what are you going to do? How are you going to sell things when nobody is going to touch and feel the product? Like it's actually impossible. But I think me starting at that age during the phase where Instagram was not so famous has made the work famous. Like, I was known for making a thing happen, which was not done by anybody else. So I think the challenges were faced in the very initial phase. And then I placed all those learnings of my business, of how to do things in Winston. So everybody was, and in lockdown, family could not have said no to it, because what else are we doing? It's not like I'm putting my brains, like the opportunity cost was nothing. I was just sitting idle, or I was making something out of nothing. So yes, there was no resistance in that phase.
Okay, so you started with Instagram, as you
Right,
already mentioned.
right.
So,
Right.
how was the response from the customers? Who was your first customer, and how did they get to know? And what is the feedback from that first particular customer?
So you're asking about Winston.
Yes, Winston.
So I think we are very lucky that because we already had an Instagram platform built and we had a community of 1 lakh users on that. And when Winston was born, we had done a dry run with those customers and got their feedback. And the feedback was the biggest push that made us feel that this is what we are going to take ahead. And eventually Himanshu stopped the family business that he had plans to continue with, and he is now full time into Winston, like him and I. That's what we both of us are doing. And the customer feedback is the biggest pull that got us today where we are. Like if your product is not right, it's not fitting the customer, and the feedback is not right, you cannot go ahead. No matter how much money you put in on marketing, you're not going to stand up. But if the product is there, even if there's zero marketing, your product is going to sell even just by word of mouth. So I think the feedback that we got was really, really nice. I mean, people sitting at home could get rid of their unwanted hair. They could do their pedicure at home. Instead of doing the facials, they were using LED masks. So it was a thing where people were also more aware about their skincare during the pandemic phase. They were more aware about self-care, because in the first pandemic, not everybody knew what is happening around them. Like we didn't even know what the virus is. Like where is it? Like people just felt like if we sit inside, it's not going to hit us. That's what
Co-
the belief was. And they just
Correct.
felt it's the time for us to relax, spend time with your family. Because first phase was, it was not really scary. The momentum hadn't built till then. So people were giving time to themselves. The creators on social media were creating awareness about taking more importance of self care, do your regime, proper regime. And that is when our products also hit the customer, and they felt like this is what exactly we needed. We don't have to go to the salon now. And they got so addicted, that there was no going back.
Okay, we are definitely going to try your products
Of
because
course.
we needed that clarity. What kind of products do you make and how is it? So after a lot of research, we have come to know, and listening it from you is kind of a blessing. So
Yes,
we'll
the
definitely try
website
your
is
products.
winstonindia.com. Definitely
Yes,
go and shop.
sure, sure, sure. And how are you marketing Winston? How much are you investing on that part?
So of course we keep on changing how much marketing spend we have, like, on a month to month basis. And it's not really about the marketing spend. I think we focus a lot of like a lot of marketing also comes from the creators. So we spend a lot on the creators, like micro and macro both. We spend a lot on the platforms, like, if we see, like, Amazon was not initially a platform which was pulling beauty products, but now it has made a special category which is only for beauty. Nika was only known for beauty, but now Amazon is also picking up. You see, creators doing these Amazon finds, where they're showing their beauty products, or product that they found under 1,000, or product of the month. Like, they are doing all these IPs for Amazon, and even other platforms like Myntra and Meesho are doing the same. So we see, like, what is the platform that we want to put money on, like, what is the creator that we want to put money on, what is the product. Suppose if we've launched new product, of course we're spending more on marketing on the same month on that particular product. And similarly, like, after Shark Tank, when the audience went bonkers, like, what is Winston, we want to see more of it, what are the products, we want to have something at our home, which we don't have to visit the salon. So that is the month where we spent the maximum. So of course I cannot like put a particular budget to it. It just keeps on, like, the frequency is changing, of course.
And who is your target audience?
So I would like to say everybody is our target audience. We just don't target tier one. Like I said, there is customer in tier two and tier three as well. It's very surprising to me, like, to the places where we never ever thought that, we are going to get our orders from those areas. Like, we consider those, like, even in Haryana, like, there is a lot of segment which we think is like, ye to gaon hai, like we shouldn't be targeting that area, like we always think that. But there are customers ordering without even them being targeted, which is so surprising, which means that there is so much disposable income that people have. So that is when we realize that we should not stop targeting, like, small cities. And because, yeah, like, everybody is the target audience, everybody needs self grooming, so why not?
Correct. I think I completely agree with it. And how was your Shark Tank experience? Can you just brief us a little about it?
I would like to say, like, that has been like life changing for us. I wouldn't say that we never ever thought that we'd be there, because that is exactly what we thought and we wanted, like, to be there. That is what we envisioned. It's just been very, very surreal to be on national television where everybody knows you, like, from cold audience, your audience becomes your potential customer, like, the funnel becomes, like, shorter. Like, instead of we explaining to people, like, what is Winston, what are we selling, they actually already know what we are doing. And whenever we are around, like, Himanshu and I, like, people, whispering, like, Shark Tank wale aa gaye, like, it's just like, even if they don't come and greet us and they're whispering, it's just we just feel really proud of, what we've done in, like, a very short span of Winston, where we have got it. And but there's a long way to go. We have beautiful mentors like Vinita and Anupam. So I think when we see their journey and we're like where they are, so I think we know that there's a long road ahead, but also making sure that we are enjoying the journey and not just focusing on the end destination. So it's just been, I think, like a one of a lifetime golden opportunity that we've lived through Shark Tank.
Correct. I think we clearly have seen how enthusiastic you guys were when you were in Shark Tank, and we completely enjoyed the episode, of course.
Right.
And what is the vision of Winston in the upcoming years? I wouldn't state the 5 years or 10 years. It's just where do
Yeah,
you see
so I
Winston?
think we also mentioned the same in the tank. Like we said that, it was 6 crores for this year's, which we've already done. And for the next year, it's 30 CR. And we have complete plans to achieve the same. So fingers crossed. I hope next time you talk, I'm going to tell you that it's already crossed.
Yes, clearly. So, did you bootstrap it, or there are
It's
fundraisers?
bootstrapped. In fact, we haven't even received the money from the sharks as of yet, because the due diligence is still under process. But I'd like to say that even though we haven't received their investment yet, but they are really helping us in so many ways. Like, they're just a call away at anything that we want to ask wherever we get stuck, and so many ideas that we want to share with them, like we want to run by them before actually putting them into action, and they're always there to help. So we are really blessed.
Yeah, and how do you, how do I frame it? I think, can you just let us know how do you feel? As you already said, we are nine of all women who are planning to, some of us are planning to do entrepreneurship. And what do you suggest us? Any one-liners or two-liners you could just give us a motivation kind of a thing?
There are so many liners. I wouldn't like boil it down to like one line or two line, because that's not even going to make an impact. And honestly, I feel like as a woman, I've learned so much, and not just as a woman but as an entrepreneur also. Like, there's so much I want to share, so I'll take good time to share with you girls. um I have always believed in manifesting things. I just feel that things just don't happen to you. You call for it, like every possible thing that you can think of. And you will not believe, Ananya, like even before, like I started business, like when I was in college. I had in school, actually, in fact, my principal, she was talking about the word entrepreneurship when I did not even know what is entrepreneur. Like, I'm talking about, like, I don't know what year, like how many years back, like 15, 20 years back. Like, in school, entrepreneur was like, what is this word? We'd only heard of, businessman and, somebody doing business. That's what we had seen and grown up doing. I was like, yeah, this is really nice. I want to be this. And then she made us see this movie. And I would want every girl and, everybody who's hearing this, watch this, documentary called The Secret. She made us watch that. If you've not seen it, it's The Secret. And it basically revolves around saying that, about law of attraction, that whatever you vibrate to and attract in your life, you are going to get that. That is the day when I wrote on a paper what I want to do, what car I want to get, the kind of husband I want to get married to, and the kind of numbers I want to do. I tell this to everybody that, I was counting कि यार 10 crore में zeros कितने होते हैं. Like, it's every time I talk about this, I get really emotional. Like, I wrote like, how many zeros are there. And when I started my Milagro Beauty journey, I did not even know when I crossed that, when I got that car, like I'm still getting goosebumps while saying this out loud, like, because I was living 100 life, but the life that I had written on that paper was a 1,000 life, like, level 1,000. Like, I had written just imaginary things which were way out of what I believed that I would have done. But, I just felt like I'm going to do it because I was so impressed by that secret, like, that I can do these things. And they came true. And that is when I felt I'm going to continue this for life. Like, in Shark Tank also, I'd like to share with all of you. We had that music played in the end, and so the Sony TV people came to us and we said that, when we get the deal, please play this song for us. Like, we are getting the check and everything from the Sharks, and you play this song. And they said, okay, Nikita, if you get the deal. I said, wait, correct your words. Don't say the word if, because that's what you're putting in the universe, putting it out in the universe. Like, if, maybe, maybe not, you're unsure. Say when you're going to get the deal. Like, be that sure. Like, I want everything around me vibrating higher than what you should be. And she said, okay, when you get the deal. And after that, Sharks also asked us that, how did you know that you're going to get the deal and you had already prepared the song? I said, we manifested it. So, that's what I told you initially also. I wouldn't say that I did not know this is going to happen. Of course, I exactly knew this is going to happen. So I think to all the entrepreneurs and, young girls, whatever your goal is, whether or not it's business, it could be for your health, it could be for, abundance in life, it could be for the people around you. Just like, manifest good things, and that is what going to, like, you attract more of what you're already living. Like, it just happens. Like, try it a single day. Every time something bad happens, just look at a positive side to it, and you're going to attract more of it. This is the biggest learning, and nothing beats this learning. So this is what I'm going to say.
Thank you so much, Nikita. It's really inspiring because manifestation is something I believe in, and I think everyone right now is literally getting goosebumps listening to you because it's not. It is a very simple thing which you have let us know, but this is so powerful. I think this just needs to be understood by each and every one of us, and we should start manifesting from now itself.
Of
And
course,
also, I manifested that you will reply to my text. So, yeah, it
it
happens.
worked. It worked.
It worked. It really did. So, I think this is what I wanted to hear from you. This is the set of questions I made for you. And I have some questions from my teammates. Just
Sure, sure.
if you're kind enough to just,
Of course.
I'll read it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
First question is from Shivangi. She is asking, are there any other competitors in your segment? If yes, how is your product unique from them? And also how you came up with the same, Winston.
All right. So the last part is already answered, Shivangi, that how I came up with Winston. And talking about competitors, I don't think so. There's anybody out there doing a business without having competitors. So of course we have it too. But I'd like to say that in this particular industry, like it's really unorganized as of now. So I wouldn't point out more than 10 or 20 brands who we would consider competitors. Like maybe like five top. But I'd like to say, of course, we are different, and every day is a learning for us, like small things of how we are reducing our RTOs. For example, how Amazon is different from any other platform. Like it gives you prime delivery. You are getting the product within like 24 hours of you ordering it, or 48 hours. We thought, why not us also do the same at Winston, beating the competitors. Like if today you want a product and you see my delivery time at Winston is 24 hours versus the competitors giving you at 3 to 4 day delivery, you would of course prefer Winston. So we thought, why not create dark stores in every city out there, so that the delivery is much faster. So small things that we also keep on learning as an entrepreneur is what keeps us unique. And of course, the product in itself is like unique. We give like a 1 year replacement at your doorstep service, which I don't think so any other brand is doing. It's a huge thing, especially in electronics, like giving you commitment of a warranty, and that too for like 1 year, not even like 3 months, like quarter or a 6 month. It's like for entire year. That is probably the time that you actually use a particular beauty product. You don't use it any longer. So the entire lifetime of a product that you are having, we give you that warranty period. And of course, the quality is so top notch that the a return ratio or a complaint ratio is so less, is exactly why we're able to give that to the customer. So there's a lot of uniqueness that already the product has. But also, the unique thing about the brand is that we listen to the customer feedback. A very big brand, for example, say I'd call like a Philips or any other bigger brand, like I would like to point out right now, the model is not so lean that the founder can listen to what the customer is wanting to have. You understand? Like if a customer today tells me that I wish this product had another color or a smaller size, or the build would have been different, I would listen to it and imply it a lot sooner versus any other brand who's on a bigger level, like having got a lean model right now. So of course, the implementation, the listening of the feedback is much quicker at Winston. And that is what I believe the strength is, like listening to the customer and bringing a product what they want, because it's exactly for them. So why not have it?
Exactly. I think Shivangi got an answer. And
Yes.
the second question is from Polemy. She is asking, during the show, the sharks talked about the price of the product. I have also seen smaller brands with lower prices and what it takes to make the different from the market, as the audience is huge with different categories. So this is the question she asked.
So she wants to know like how are we priced higher, or like why are people like, can you just like explain me a bit?
Yeah, I'll just read it out again. During the show, the shark talked about the price of the product.
Right.
I have also seen smaller brands with lower prices
Right.
and what it takes to make it different from the market as an audience. I think it's
She
similar
just wants
kind
to know that
as
how are
Shivangi.
we different and how are we
Yes,
priced higher? Like what are
exactly,
we doing
exactly,
differently? So I
exactly.
think it's the USPs that we are giving, like, like I said, like we already talked about. If you buy a product today, which is of, worth rupees 500 versus our product, which is 2000, and it stops working tomorrow, which is generally the case in those products, because, why do people say like it's a Chinese product, it's going to stop working? Because it's meant to be that way. You don't know what quality you are getting unless and until it's branded. And branded does not only mean that it's expensive. Branded means that the quality has been taken care of. That is what putting a brand to a product means. Like, I said it in the tank also. We're not selling a product, but we're selling a brand. Brand means that the quality is checked. The team is after it. There's, a team who's taking care of, your complaints. There's a team taking care of what you need. So the entire thing in totality makes a brand. We're not just selling a product. So if Shivangi wants to know, like, what is the uniqueness, it's exactly that. If you buy a product which stops working in a day or a two, there's nobody that you address that complaint to. It's not a branded product. Versus if you take from us, it's not just, and those products are driven by cell battery, which is more likely to have problems within the first 2 months, versus R, which is like, which works via USB. So, you can travel with it. So there's a lot of benefits that you get, which is the problem that we also faced initially. But I think today's customer is really smart. If they see a product on Amazon for 500, they see a product on Amazon for 1000, they would read what is the difference. It's not like, मतलब पहले maybe होता था कि you just see the price, oh, it looks the same but the price is different, let me buy the cheaper one. But now the customer reads, like, you're educated. That is what education has brought to the customers, smart customers. That is what we say, like, they read what we are getting in a 1000 rupee product, they read what we are getting in a 500 rupee product, and they're smart enough to understand like what is the difference. So that is where we play, like, with the uniqueness of the product.
And the next question is from Suchitra. She asks, how are you effectively addressing the customer paranoia and establishing trust and assurance? What strategies and tactics can be employed to elevate a customer fears and anxieties? So usually when it comes to beauty products or something like that, people are really fearful sometimes that what if something goes wrong, and we are directly using it on face, or we are using it on a body. So how are you just establishing that thing, the trust and assurance?
So there are different ways that we do that. So first is from the customer's journey, from seeing the product for the first time, whether they've seen it, heard it via somebody, or whether they've seen an advertisement for it, or whether they've listened it via Shark Tank. So every time they come on the website, like that's the first step that they would do, our website or like any social media platform, till the time that they actually purchase, everything has been made really really clear to them. Like, even if we are targeting them, we are making sure, like, we understand, like, what influencers are they following, what is the set of mind that, the like-minded products that they've already purchased, and the influencers who can influence them. Basically, that is what creators are doing. For example, today, if you trust any beauty guru, and that guru tells you that Winston is a really nice product, and they show you a live demo of that product using it, I think that is when half of your fears go away. When you see somebody showing it to you live on their own face. Most of the beauty products, as you said, they get skeptical that how can I use it on my face, is it going to work, is it going to not work? And versus you seeing somebody doing it for you, that is where your fears go away, and you are like, all right, now I can try it. If she can try it, because she's your guru, you believe in her, and that is what the power of the influencers are. So we make sure that those influencers, and not just influencers that we hire, but we see a lot of influencers who, a lot of influencers these days also work like, I wouldn't work with this brand. They are very picky. They just don't work because they are paid for it. They know they have built a community. they are targeting not just audience but their own community. It's like their family, so they cannot give false claims that I'm using it and this works. They are also smart enough. So it's challenging sometimes, but really works well for us, that they are telling their audience that this product works. I think that is how we cut the fears that you just mentioned. And yeah, I think social media has played a huge role. And also I'd like to say word of mouth is second, especially in women. If one woman buys and she's tried it, she likes it, she's going to spread it to 100 others, like without any marketing. Like that's the best marketing that we experience. And yeah, that works for us.
Yes, thank you. And Gayatri says that she is inspired listening to your manifesting stories, and
Right.
she initially was very doubtful about this manifesting thing after reading the book The Secret.
Yeah.
So, but now after listening to you, she got all her doubts cleared, and she has mentioned thank you to you, and thank you
And
from Shivangi as
if
well,
I'm
and
even
also.
helping one person by this, I feel so like, I feel like, I've done something in my life. Every time I go to any podcast or, like to colleges, like, and they ask me like, tell us something about your journey. This is the only thing that I tell them, because, I feel like business is something that you will learn, but this is something for life. Like, you're not going to forget this learning. And anybody who wants to like get in touch with me personally also after this, I feel like, I have so many incidents to share. This is not even something that I've actually not shared any incident, but so many things have happened. Milagro Beauty, I kept the brand name called Milagro because I believed so much in miracles. Milagro is a Spanish word for miracle. And I was like, my brand needs to be called like, something with miracle, because I've learned this trick of, manifesting things and making miracle happens. Like, so yes, Gayatri, I'm
What
happy that
does oh, sorry to interrupt.
yeah.
Yeah, Nikita, what does Milagro Beauty sells? Like, I haven't researched a lot about it, but what kind of products do you sell
So we
there?
sell beauty products. Like we started with Ayurvedic range in the initial phase, and then we thought that people are so inclined for color cosmetics these days, so we thought to add that also, and we've recently added that. Definitely check it out. It's milagrobeauty.com, and I hope you guys like it.
Yes, sure, because we love makeup. I personally love makeup, so definitely I'm gonna check it out.
Definitely.
And I think this is the end of it. And mm, okay, last question from
Sure.
Rushan. Would love to know more about your experience. Experience about what, Rushan? Can you please type in
Experience
and
in
say?
Shark Tank, or like experience in general?
1 second.
Or do you mean the
In
manifestation
general,
experience?
in general.
Okay, experience in general. So you mean like, what have I studied is what you're trying to ask me, like that?
No, you said that you can connect with me personally so that you could share the experience of so many incidents that has happened to you. So I think she meant the same that we would love to know more about your
Do we
journey.
have enough time?
And
Can I share one more incident?
yes, sure, sure, why not?
So actually, I was just sharing this in a college that I recently went to. My parents had given me a life, where they'd given me like everything. I'm not saying like a spoiled kid, but every parents give whatever best they have. So like I had 100 on 100 life, like everything good, given good school, good college, and I think as a kid that is what you want. Like you're not expecting something else. But when I went to college, I saw a life beyond 100. Like I said, like I saw so much luxury around me, and I was like, I did not know about this life. If you don't know that life, then how can you feel that you're deprived of it? So that is when I saw that there was more to what I actually have seen in my life. Like luxury cars for say, like I'd never seen those. And I felt like I want to do something where I buy this by myself. That this is, I'm speaking about in college. Okay, I'm not doing a business right now in college. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I manifested having a car. Like my nephew was born like in my college days only, and I had given him a luxury car, like a small car, like baby cars, a Mercedes basically. And I had written that model of the car, on a paper that I'm going to buy the original one of it very soon. So you know what I'm trying to say, like my parents have given me a good life, but not that life, you know what, like it's not like today if I tell them that, I want this, that they would say, oh, have it. Like it wasn't that. And this exact same model, when I got married, without even remembering that I had written it on a paper for myself, I got that car. So again, I just got goosebumps while saying it. So it's not about it's not about the money that you have at the moment. It's about the thought that you implant in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is like 90%, like to right just at this very moment, you're not telling your mind to breathe. It's just breathing because it's just doing with or without you wanting to do it, and that's the necessity. So the subconscious mind is always working even when you're sleeping. And if you put that seed of, for example, whatever percentage you want, like if you want like a 97%, you don't have to be really intelligent, you don't have to study like 24 hours, like but you need to believe that you're going to be there. Your mind is going to remember that thing at once, instead of going through the same subject like 5 times, because your mind knows that you are working towards a 97% goal. So I think, like a very small incident I shared, again, I got the exact marks that I had written on a paper, that this is how much I will achieve. So these are the small miracles that I have experienced, and right now they sound small, but it's really not small, like um so yes, I think you all should try it. And don't write like so wishful thing, like don't write tomorrow I'm going to get like a 1 CR in my bank. Because you can't believe that. Write what you believe in. When I write something, I do not give myself a timeline, but I know for a fact that I'm going to achieve abundance in the earliest possible time. You don't ask for things like I just mentioned, like I'm going to get like a gold brick lying next to me on the road. Like you don't ask for these things, so you ask for things that you actually believe in. And I'm telling you, start from small things, like your achievable weight, or your marks, like I said, like, and the subject that you want, the mentors that you want in your life, like like you said, like Ananya, you wanted to speak to me, so maybe on LinkedIn you girls go and connect to people that you actually want to connect to. And and you want to learn about their journey as an entrepreneur, since you girls also, I'm sure, must be like inspiring entrepreneurs. you know um, Put them mails that you want to intern with them, and imagine yourself interning with them. And you never know, like in the next months, like summer internship is with them. So start manifesting from small things, achievable things, and the things that you actually believe are going to happen, and they are going to happen.
Thank you so much, Nikita. And Lijal says manifestation has always worked for me, and I feel it's true. If you really want something, the universe gives you back.
Right.
It was wonderful listening to you, and same for you in believing ourselves and that we can get it.
Of course.
Yes, thank you, Nikita. This is the end of the session, and I really feel grateful that people like you um, take out their time from their busy schedule. I know how busy you would be, and keeping everything apart and coming to listening to us and replying to our text and just getting in touch with us and giving us such a wonderful session is something. I'm sorry, did I lose it?